Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I thought I'd bring you a mail card. I've not done a mail card yet on a video, and I know that it's one of the things that people find the hardest to do. I used to, until I realised that as long as you just change colours and don't add too many bits of bling and pink, you're generally okay. And so I came up with this one. I'm using the lovely Birthday Wit stamp set, which I just loved. As soon as I saw it in the catalogue, I knew that I had to get it because I just think it's great. And, you know, us Brits have such a strange sense of humour that I think something like this is just ideal. As you can see, I've used the Brusho on the background, which is just so simple. A little bit of washi, a little bit of baker's twine, and you've got a card for a mail, and it's super simple. And so I'm going to show you how I did it. So I'm going to actually go with blue today, with Dapper Denim, and I'm using the, I don't know if you can see, the shimmery white cardstock as opposed to watercolour, because I think watercolour cardstock is more a vanilla than a white, and if you want to use white for sentiments, it kind of looks odd, and you don't always want to use vanilla because colours look different on vanilla. At least I think they do anyway. So I'm going to show you how I did it. So I've got my aqua painter, and I'm simply just going to wipe all over this cardstock, making sure that it's really wet. I don't want any dry bits, and it's hard to explain, but I'm basically sort of leaning back and getting the reflection from the window to show me where it all is. I've then got my blue Brusho, and I'm simply just very gently adding some Brusho, and that's all I'm going to do because I want that quite nice effect there. And then what I actually did was I actually used my embossing putty to hold the ends down so that it dried out, because I didn't want this water to run. Now if you want to go for a slightly different effect, let that water run and swirl and pool and pick up colours if that's what you fancy doing. And as you can see, mine's now starting to pick up the colours and run and pick up the Brusho, which I think is a fantastic effect. And you know, you could play with it all day long. The downside is you have to wait for this to dry before you carry on. And so, in true style, here's one I did earlier. As you can see, I'm just going to wipe off some of the Brusho that didn't catch water, but as you can see, it's such a great pattern and it's so unique. You know, you're not going to get that same pattern again no matter how hard you try. And so that's all I did. So I've got my Dapper Denim card base here, which this is just going to get stuck straight onto. Now as you can see, the water does completely misshape your card, so I use Fuse just because it's that bit stronger, and you know, I just know that it's going to hold my layer flat. And again, I do all four corners and I do a strip down the centre just to make sure that it's stuck. I'm going to spin that round because I actually want that at the corner so I can hide my washi over it. And then literally just place it down and then just make sure that that Fuse has taken hold. And so there's my layer on my card. I then wanted to add some washi, and I've got the, and I can never remember these, and I'm sorry, Basics packs 2 and 3 are what I've used. I can't remember which one's blue, which one's green, but basically, where's the other one gone? There it is. That's one of them with the blues, and this is the other one with the greens and a yellow. These I just got off eBay. They're just nice big locking hoops, so it keeps my sets all together, and obviously once they've retired I take them off and add new ones. So let's have a look. I'm going to go for, I think this one, but that, oops, something's stuck on the end of that one, probably card from the last one, but I actually want a straight edge for this one, so I am going to cut that one, and then I'm just going to stick that one on the corner. Of course, the other option is to stick it and just wrap it under the back before you adhere it. And then, like I did with the other one, I'm just going to add a little bit of this one and do exactly the same. And just cut straight and then stick it on. And it doesn't really matter where you stick it on. As I always say to the ladies in my class, it's your card, it's your design, it's nothing to do with me. So that's that bit done. And pop that to one side. I've got the Dapper Denim Baker's Twine 2 here to pop on. So I've got some Whisper White here and some Dapper Denim for my layer. My lovely birthday wit. And I think it's great. Nothing says happy birthday like a piece of paper folded in half. Just, I think a man or a chap would like that. Dapper Denim ink. And that I'm simply just stamping this with. And again, I did consider using some enamel shapes. But, oh, well, that's not very good. Well, let's flip her over and use the other side. Yeah, I did consider using enamel shapes, but then I thought, you know, that's again adding or going a bit girly. So I thought that's better. So I thought, no, we'll leave it as it is. Don't overdo it. Men don't like all that fluff and flaff, do they? So I've stamped my sentiment, so I just need to cut this out. And I'm going very close to the edge because I don't really want to hide much of my Brusho, because obviously that's the whole point of doing it, is so that you can see it. So I'm just trimming this down. So there's my sentiment. I'll just put that over to one side for a moment, move all of this out of the way. And I am, as you've probably noticed before when I do my cards, I am a little bit naughty when it comes to layering, and I don't measure and work out. I just stick it on and cut it, because that's what I do. So just using my snail to adhere this onto its layer, and I just simply decide on how much of the card I want showing, which isn't much on this case, and then I just use my trimmer again to just trim. And again, because I know that I want it fairly close, maybe take a smidge off that in a moment. That one's better. And I literally just want a slither off that one. Perfect. And so that's my layer. If you're not too happy with the edges here, just give them a little trim without cutting too much off the card. And then I just pop dimensionals on the back. And then obviously the last thing is my Baker's Twine, which I use glue dots. And I just simply add 4 glue dots onto the card, and then I just actually use, oops, stick the end onto a glue dot, and then I just loop round wherever I want my twine to go. As I say, I just sort of do maybe 2 or 3, and then because I have a tendency for things to be in order, I do generally just do 3 loops, and they have to be the same size and everything else, but that's just me. And so there's my twine, which I think looks quite cute. Bring my card back in, take my backing off, my dimensionals, and that is your male card. Now you can add as much or as little detail as you want to them, but I think that they just look ideal for a male card, even if it was a Father's Day or even a get well soon actually, and just play with that twine a little bit so it doesn't look so unified. And there you have it. Simple and yet I think really nice male birthday cards. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope it gives you some idea as to what to do with male cards. And I hope to see you all again soon. Bye!